Hi there, guys. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
J-Mac the Bearded One here with you. I'm here with three other bros, of course. It's the Monday edition, spring break. Now, we won't have a live show on Friday for spring break. A lot of people going out of town, so we'll let them all have their spring break with their families. So we'll go around the room, have everyone tell us what's going on, what spring break plans they have. Each get about a minute. We'll start with mess around.
No, I really don't have any plans. Just work, and more work.
All right. Big B, you got any plans?
No, nothing really. Just probably just start getting the stuff ready for outside and just hang out and chill.
Chris?
Yeah, I don't have anything either. Just, maybe go
We are
outside a
some
little
boring
bit.
bros.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I got to work most of the week, but actually I get off early on Friday. I only have a half a day, so I will not be around on Friday. But guys, let me start with this. I'm a bachelor this week. My old lady took a trip to see her mom down in Arizona. Let's see. Cassie's here this week because she's working, and then Jordan's here because, well, Jordan doesn't do anything. So he's here with that. But other than that, it's just the three of us, and they take care of themselves. So I got really no responsibility other than my dog.
Got
Holding
the
him
hall
with the
pass,
pole.
huh?
No, I don't have a hall pass. You got to be kidding, man! Like
We
that.
should all be
Okay, you got a semi hall pass. We'll call it that.
I got a hall pass to not have to, listen to bitching for a week. Like that's a hall pass. But yeah. But let me. So I don't know that you guys deal with this or not. Now, Brandon, I know that you were married once before.
Yep.
Now, your second wife, is your child yours together?
Yep.
Do you have any kids from the previous
relationship? No. We found out we were a month pregnant, and then she unfortunately lost it about a month later. So yeah.
Okay. Well, then let me bring it up this way. Do you guys ever deal with you bring up something per se, maybe that drives you a little crazy, like something they do that you're just like, I wish you'd stop doing that because it drives me a little crazy. And then it somehow turns back on you because you don't do something correctly. So let me set the scene for you. I, the other day, made an off-color comment here at the house because they're all talking about how, they and this is everybody in the house, not just one person. But so we're sitting there having dinner, and the kids, and now Chris is on here twice. Hope everything's going okay with Chris. But I can turn my camera back on. Anyway, we're sitting here at the house, we're having dinner, and they bring up something about all the kids start chiming in this thing about, oh, well, we go to school all day, and then we have sports, and we're tired and we don't want to do anything. So why don't you do it? And then Jen has to chime in and agree with them. And I'm like, what is it you guys think I do all day? Do you think I sit in a freaking office and like look over people? Do you know that I pound concrete 10 to 12 hours a day on the floor doing stuff in the store? I am just, if not more tired than the rest of you. And I don't just sit around and not do anything all day at work. So yeah, when I come home, my feet hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurts. I don't want to do shit when I get home. But it's always turned back on me of, well, you got to lead by example. You don't do anything when you get home. You're right, I don't. And then, and then let me ask if you've heard this one. It's we have 2 days off every week. You're right. Sometimes they're split. Sometimes it's the weekend. I'll agree with you. Well, but your first day, you always just sit around and not do anything. Okay. Yep, I do. You're right. Like, and then like when you get the every other weekend off, then like the second day you're gone to meet up and see your kids in Coos Bay, right? Yes, I agree with you. So both your days you don't really get anything done because, and then in the next breath, okay, it was, well, I know that I sit around on my days off and just kind of sit around and relax. And I'm like, okay, so it's okay for you, but not for me. And she's like, well, I have this running list. And I'm like, let me ask you, if I had a list for you that said do this stuff on your day off, how pissed off would you be?
I know
you'd
this
be
story plays
pissed.
out.
And you guys know I'm right because they'd be pissed if we left them a list.
Oh
Yep.
But we're wrong because we don't do anything.
yeah. Yep.
And I still don't feel like I got anywhere. It was like she just stopped talking to me and gave me the silent treatment.
No, you don't get anywhere. I mean, that's just like, my job's pretty easy. I ain't gonna, I got a list of people complain, being the supervisor, but I work 4 to midnight here in Minnesota, so I get home, roughly 1 o'clock. Want to sit, relax in the chair. Yeah, I do doze off here and there, but the wife always complains, you should just come to bed. Okay, do you go to bed right away when you get home at 5 o'clock? I mean, no. So, I mean, you have something to eat when you get home. You probably go to bed 4 hours after you get home. So if I get home at 1, I should be going to bed about 5 o'clock, So, oh yeah, you're never right. Even though we can prove that we are, we're never right.
Yeah, even when you make a point. And then the next one was, okay, well, there's 1 or 2 days a week where you don't go to work till 11 in the morning, right? So why don't you get up at like 6 or 7 and do stuff before you go to work? Because I'm about to go to work for 10 hours. I don't want to do anything before I go to work.
I'm in the same boat, man. Where I work, I take care of people with dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff. And I have to clean their apartments and stuff in the room and stuff. And I don't want to come home and clean. I don't want to clean on my days off because I do that at work, And then, well, you don't go to work till 2 o'clock. Why don't you do the dishes or, clean the house before you go? Because I'm about to go to work and do the same freaking thing. I don't want to do it here.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that was our therapy session for tonight, but I feel better just getting to talk to my bros about that and make sure that knowing that I'm not the only one, that deals with that. But let's switch gears. Let's talk about the NFL quarterback carousel. I know we're all right around the same age. Have you guys seen anything like this in the offseason before? This is insane. I think we were counting it. There's going to be like 10 quarterbacks that are going to be on different teams next year.
Big name quarterback. I mean, you always got the minor moves, but yeah.
Exactly. There's always the backups that change teams, but we're talking about big names. I mean, just to name the ones off the top, I mean, you got Watson and Watson's the big one. He just
Wilson.
But then you got Russell Wilson and
Matty Ice.
Yeah. I mean,
Ryan. Yeah.
Not Matty Ice. Like there's 10. It's crazy. So what do you guys think about this offseason? It's been interesting, hasn't it?
For me, it's, just even trying to think about fantasy football right now and how much little extra work you're going to have to put in just to try to figure out where everybody's at. I mean, there's always a stretch, but now, looking at the quarterbacks, 10 different quarterbacks in different places, how long is Watson going to play for, and, should the Browns move Mayfield or should they hold on to him? I mean, yeah, it's just a crazy. I don't recall an offseason in any sport really this crazy, in their offseason, maybe the trade deadline and stuff, but man, this is just mind blowing on what teams are getting moved for. I mean, draft picks used to be like gold, and now they're just like, oh, whatever, it's a draft pick, let's go out and get whoever, so they're treating draft picks like nothing. I mean, but yeah, I don't recall a offseason like this before.
Right.
Hey, we see your comments, buddy. Sorry about that.
Well, there's one that's specifically for Mess Around Dave, which says plans. Dave Mess Around Dave plans to post some memes. Yeah, Dave's good at doing that.
Oh
they're
yeah,
great.
Will's a big mess around fan, so
Yeah. He said, I always leave a list, going back to our conversation, I always leave a list and follow it up for completion. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that.
Unless you want to be in the doghouse.
Will, I gotta say you got probably bigger balls than us four put together if you're doing that.
Right.
That's the truth.
So going back to the sports, the quarterback thing, for me, two things stand out. My biggest ones for me is Trubisky and Mariota get another chance for redemption.
Yep.
And the second thing is most of the quarterbacks will finally get to see if it was a scheme they were in the system. And we'll see if they're really that talented and good. Like, they're going into new offenses that they don't know yet. So we'll see how that works out for them.
For sure. I think that has a lot to do with it. Chris, you got anything to add? I think Chris still having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right.
He's probably looking to find out where Danucci landed, with all the quarterback moves.
Yeah, right. Right. So yeah, it's been kind of a crazy offseason, I'll say, in the NFL. It's very, very, very strange. Very.
Well, and it's not even quarterback driven. I mean, all around defensive players are moving, receivers are moving. Kansas City's, in talks to get McCaffrey. They just signed what was the receiver they just signed?
Juju.
Yeah, Juju. A team that needs defensive help keeps going out and getting all these offensive players. So
I think their plan is just to outscore everybody and screw defense.
I mean, why not at this point in the NFL?
Yeah.
It's kind of, offense wins games, but we know defense wins championships.
Right?
Yep. Something Dallas has neither.
Sounds like Chris is back with us. Chris, you have anything to add? You have anything to add about the quarterback carousel this offseason and how crazy it's been?
Oh no, it's been crazy. I haven't seen this many quarterbacks I either switch teams or retired or whatever. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and being a Green Bay fan, I really found the Davante Adams saga is kind of interesting, but I kind of agree with what some of the Green Bay fans are saying. Like, they know that Davante knows that Rodgers really may not be in it to win. He's just in it to make money at this point. So do you blame them for feeling that way right now? I don't think you do.
I don't know.
Well, when you take a contract like that really hampers your team and it's signing anybody else.
Agreed. While we're right there at the halfway point, Chris, why don't you roll that beautiful bean footage for us? We'll come back. We'll talk some Major League Baseball, maybe hit on the NBA a little bit. I want to hit on both the men's and women's brackets, and then we'll do rapid fire, and that'll pretty much put us at the end of the show. So go ahead and roll those ads for us.
K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right. Thanks for that, Chris. And don't forget, guys, I know that no one really likes ads, but we got to pay the bill somehow. We got to keep this great show going and this great network. So check us out, check those places out, and do what you can to support them and support us. We thank you for watching, listening. We're back here with you on the Four Bros Radio Show. J-Mac, Mess Around, Double Dirty, Big B, and Crispy Bacon here with you. We're gonna switch over to the Major League Baseball. Has anyone watched any spring training games yet?
Just some highlights.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
much.
preseason in the NFL for me. But I will say that I do watch them closer to opening day, because you get those guys that are right on the cusp of making the team, and you want to see how well they play in the last few games to see if they're going to make the team or not. So.
I really don't think they're – I mean, maybe I'm just speaking for Minnesota here, but I really don't think there's going to be many surprises just because of how short the spring training is and stuff. I think the teams are going to go with pretty much what they had last year and add some new faces that they signed. So I don't think we're going to get any major surprises. I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think maybe some pitchers.
Well, possibly, yeah.
But mess around. Why don't you tell us what's going on with the White Sox?
They're pretty quiet as far as free agency goes. They are 4-1 so far this spring training. Their only loss coming to the Guardians,
who just got whooped by Texas.
Yeah,
Right.
that was a crazy score.
Sure was. And I've been watching some other teams. I watched the Pirates. They surprised me, honestly. They were able to beat Tampa Bay 4-1, and they have no payroll. Like, they have nobody. The Pirates have nobody on their team. I think their top home run guy from last year was 18 home runs. Is their top guy. They have like nobody on their team, and they were able to beat the Rays. And the Rays were playing, mostly AAA players, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I'll tell you what I'm excited for. I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to see where Atlanta goes, losing Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers.
Do you really think that's going to be a big
No, I
difference?
don't. Everyone keeps making it a big deal, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal. The Dodgers fans are making it out to be a bigger deal, like they got, the cream of the crop and they're going to put them over the top to be able to beat Atlanta. But as far as the Braves go, I don't think it's that big of a drop between Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson. I don't really think that there's a huge difference there. And we were smart, so we signed Matt Olson to an 8-year deal. So now we have Olson for the next 8 years. We have Albies for the next 5, and we have Acuna for the next 6. So those guys are together for the next 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that the only one that hurts is Freeman for not going back. I mean, the Braves got younger at the position. They keep that window open longer to win championships. So,
yeah. And I know I'm sounding like a homer, but we probably have the best bullpen in baseball, especially signing Kenley Jansen from the shut up with Acuna Will Smith stuff. Shut up, Brandon. No, we got Kenley Jansen from the Dodgers, and he had some interesting things to say when they asked him why he signed with Atlanta. Just an interesting take on what he said. But we don't have to get into all that. But we added him to our bullpen. He'll be our primary closer. They'll move Will Smith to the 7th or the 8th inning. Then you have Tyler Matzik, and you still have Luke Jackson. So you have a pretty good bullpen coming out in the end of the game, right there. So looking forward to that. Chris, I don't know what to say about Texas. They've looked pretty good in spring training, but I don't know how good they're going to be when the season comes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell right now.
Yeah, it always is in spring training. Who still has a bracket going in either the men's or the women's?
Mine
This
this
year's been crazy. It's been more insane than normal years in the tournament.
A couple of my brackets, I have like one side left. I think it's the Arizona side I have left in a couple brackets. And then I do have in one bracket, I do have Gonzaga and Arizona left. And then my women's bracket, I think I've been doing pretty decent. I think I'm hitting around 80% in the one bracket I filled out. So,
friend of the show, Dave Kokensparger.
what's up, Coke?
I even
What's
said his
up?
name right. We call him Dave Coke. Coke, welcome to the show.
the Coke
thanks for
man.
watching.
All right.
But yeah, me too. I filled out a couple of different brackets, but I couldn't seem to get the combinations right on any of them, to be honest. But now I'm just rooting for the underdogs. So
Yeah. If I recall, I think I heard.
Let's take it all the way.
Who?
If I recall, I heard ESPN said that the brackets were busted like within the first day.
Yeah,
There's no perfect bracket.
When St. Peter's beat Kentucky, that dropped 98.7% of brackets out of the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think later on, I think there's another game too that made like 0 perfect brackets or something.
yeah. Once it was once. So
Was it
once,
Iowa?
I'm thinking of the team that lost. So it was when Kentucky lost was,
Yep.
and then when Baylor went down was the other that took care of all the other ones.
Okay, I thought it was another. I thought it was like Iowa too, but because Baylor went down on the second day or Saturday?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought they said that the brackets were all finished by the end of day 1, but I could be wrong.
well, Baylor was the first 1 seed to lose, so I know that they.
But they lost in the second round, right? They
Right.
didn't lose. Yeah.
But once they were out, everyone.
Yeah.
But all the brackets are done. I mean, no one's going to win that. That's why they throw so much money at it. They say you can win this much money because who's ever going to get a perfect bracket? Who?
It hasn't happened yet, so yeah.
It hasn't happened yet.
Yep. I can see it happening on the women's side before I see it happen on the men's side.
For sure. And speaking of the women's side, Notre Dame's scary. I'm sorry. They played great basketball tonight. I was watching some of their game, and you could not stop them.
Go ahead.
I mean, you start covering them in the perimeter, then they just start throwing it down in towards the bucket, and they start putting it on the layups underneath. Then you start putting 3 people down in the near the bucket down in the hole. Then they start hitting perimeter shots outside. Like they can beat you in any way. Notre Dame is a scary team.
Who was it that took Baylor out? Was it South Carolina? They look pretty. They look pretty like they can handle their own. So
my bracket's not bad. I still got 3 of my 4 teams, Final 4 teams, and Arkansas winning the whole thing.
So let's say this. Let's say I don't know what Mark Few said to all the Gonzaga guys at halftime after that second round. Was it the first round game? No, second round.
Yeah.
Second round game. I don't know what he said to that team, but whatever he said lit a fire under their ass, and they have not looked back since. They looked good in the second half. They came out swinging. They weren't going down without a fight, that's for sure. But women's side, I still say you're going to have your strong teams there.
Oh yeah.
I still got UConn in the Final Four, but Notre Dame's a team that I think is going to go further than I thought they were going to also. South Carolina looks really good too. They've played some good basketball, so we can't forget the women's side of stuff for sure. Anyone else got anything to say? Anyone else want to chime in on any sport? Anything going on? Free agency in the NFL. We're coming up to the draft here in April. We'll do what'll be our annual event, our Four Bros, the annual draft party. We'll go through the first round.
I got nothing.
I don't either.
Hockey, my Blackhawks finally did the right thing and starting to dump people and rebuild.
Yep, I think it was time. I'm glad you brought that up, mess around, because I didn't think it was time. It's what the Red Wings have done for years. And hey, we're finally up. We'll probably make the playoffs this year. We might be a 7 seed or an 8 seed, but we'll finally make the playoffs for the first time in 8 or 9 years now. And it finally works for us to just dump guys and rebuild and start over from the draft and draft and develop guys and get some free agents in. Been waiting for the Blackhawks to do the same thing. Looks like they're finally taking that and doing it.
About time. They should have done it last year, to be honest.
Right.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. Well, let's get into it. We'll slowly get into rapid fire here tonight. Let's go 3 questions because we have a few minutes. Let's go 3 questions each. I'll start with. So I'm gonna make Chris last, and here's why I'm gonna make Chris last, because Chris, this will give you a chance to see what kind of questions are coming, so you can have your answers ready when we get to you.
Okay.
So let's start with Big B tonight.
All right.
So if you could if you could have hair again, would you want hair or do you like your look now?
All right, guys. Sorry, must have a little technical issues here.
That's okay.
You guys hear me? No, I didn't get the question. What's up?
Okay. Question is, if you could have hair again, would you want hair again or do you like your look now?
Oh no, I don't want hair again. I was getting a haircut like every third week, it seemed like. So no.
Okay. Fair enough. Sweet tea or not sweet tea?
Ooh, that is the question. I guess I could go either. I'm not a fan of either one, but I'll drink a cup here and there.
Last question. Watching a AAA game, sitting at the ballpark, order a hot dog. You're allowed to get 2 condiments on your hot dog. What's on it?
Onions and ketchup.
Okay, fair enough. All right, mess around.
Do it.
Okay. Kool-Aid or Hawaiian Punch?
Why is it so hard? Yeah, Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian Punch, okay. Fry sauce or ketchup?
Fried sauce.
Fry sauce, what's that?
See? No one, if you're not from the West Coast, you know what fry sauce is.
It's mayonnaise and ketchup.
Oh,
So they say it's mayonnaise and ketchup, but I'm here to tell you there's actually more ingredients in it than that.
Okay.
But it's essentially mayonnaise and ketchup put together.
Yeah.
But there's a few more ingredients. There's lemon juice that you put in there. Some
Right.
people put cinnamon. There's a few other things you can add in there. But Brandon, you ever make it to the West Coast, we will give you some fry sauce, and I'll tell you, you will want it after that.
You'll
All
never
right.
have ketchup with the fries again.
You'll never have ketchup with your fries again. You want fry sauce.
All right.
Let's see. So that was first question for mess around. Second question for mess around would be,
Oh no, that was the second question.
was that second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your last question is, rain or snow?
Either way, I don't have to do anything that day because can't go outside. So, give me the rain.
I figured you'd pick the rain. You live on the coast. You see it like 9 months out of the year. So it's all good anyway. Okay. Crispy bacon. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Red or blue?
Blue.
Very good. That's quick. That's rapid fire. You got the answer out quick. I like it. Let's see. YouTube or Spotify?
YouTube.
Okay. Google or Alexa?
Google.
Interesting. Most people don't give you that answer. Most people are Alexa people. But no, very good. And we did it in under 30 minutes that we try to keep it at. So we'll go around, give everyone 30 seconds. We'll start with Chris. We'll go right back to Chris since he's on fire and getting that out. So go ahead, Chris.
He's earning that jujitsu money.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Shows coming up this
It's currently
week.
clear
here.
and 50.
For talking about stick with Coach.
Right. Double Dirty Big Day.
Thanks for everybody for tuning in. It's a great time to sit and with the bros. Long day of work. Just keep checking us out. On deck will not be on this week. I have family commitments. So we'll next week we'll have our big interview with Josh Ronica. I think is how you pronounce his name. I could be wrong. But yeah, next week we'll definitely have that though.
All right. And mess around Dave.
I'm really disappointed I didn't get to do the Red Tape Files with Ace tonight because I had to go grocery shopping. That's become one of my favorite shows. So next week we'll be back on for sure.
Okay. And just want to remind everyone, don't forget, we will not have a show on Friday. So we'll be back with you next Monday, 3/28 after spring break. Everyone have a safe spring break. Be safe. Make smart choices. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do,
Don't get caught.
don't get caught. That's exactly what I was thinking. Don't get caught.
Protect it.
Perfect it. Yep. Make sure everyone. So basically, if there's two of you, one of you's deaf and the other one doesn't speak English. That just remember that's how you roll.
He's right.
All right. All seriousness aside, everyone, be safe. We'll see you next Monday. Have a safe holiday week and weekend. We can't call it a holiday because it's spring break. It's a holiday. Let's face it.
For the kids.
Yeah, right. Kids. I couldn't imagine being on spring break.
It's all for the kids.
I can party like one night in a row. I think if I went two, I'd probably die, to be honest.
Oh my God, I feel that. Just thinking about it, I feel it.
Right? All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Lifelong dreams being lived right in front of your very eyes. We could not do this without you. Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, anywhere you get your podcasts. We'll see you all on the other side.